Good morning, this is Steve with my friend Jeff.
Good morning.
We are at, as you can see, the trailhead to Rainier Peak, which is one of the 4 old fire lookout towers at Mount Rainier National Park. We're on Highway 123. We're going to cross the road here and start up. This is a very steep trail, a relentlessly steep trail up to the fire lookout. Rainier Peak Trail. High car burglary area. Uh-oh. Hopefully we don't get broken into, Jeff. But we'll check in on the way. It's going to be an interesting hike. It's a little after 6:30, about 60 degrees. We've got a lot of climbing to do, so I'm not going to talk much here. We'll check in on the way, and hope you enjoy the hike. Thanks for hiking with us. So we're checking in here. We've been going at it hard for about 45 minutes. It's supposed to be 3/4 of a mile to this turn. The trail loops back on itself. It goes east to begin with, and then you loop back to the west. And it's steep, relentless, and it's a muggy morning. You can see we kind of have this view here, and it's real socked in. And boy, I was telling Jeff my shirt's already wringing wet, but it's a wicking material. We'll see what happens. But so we might not have any views, but anyway, we'll check in up the way. Well, good morning again. This is Steve. We've reached kind of a viewpoint. We're a little over halfway up. Say hello, Mr. Jeff.
Morning.
We've been on the trail about an hour and a half, and I was telling Jeff that the last time I did this trail with Gino, we took 2 hours and 15 minutes to get up to the top, which would be 45 minutes from here, and I'm not sure we're gonna make it. I am dragging ass, as they say. Sorry, but I'm just really dragging. It's a steep trail. Steepest trail you've been on, Jeff?
This is Granite Mountain.
Okay. Anyway, we've come up from over here, and the sun, we're socked in, but we actually ran into our first set of hikers this morning, and it was a young couple heading down with all their camping equipment. And they said they camped up here last night, and they said it's not socked in up above. It's kind of further up you go, you're going to be able to see. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, because right now we are really socked in, as you can see. So we're on our way. Like I said, I know we're over halfway, but boy, I don't know if we're going to make it in 45 minutes to equal Gino and my time. We got a ways to go. So we'll just keep plugging along, and when we get there, we'll get there, and we'll check in there. So we're about 3/4 of the way. We just met the second group of campers coming out of the lookout. 3 people, so we've seen 5. 2 groups of campers. We're still socked in. Everybody's telling us it's sunny up there, so we'll see in a bit. Probably about a mile away. We're getting there. Check in a bit. So our first view of Rainier today. We're heading up this way. Clouds are starting to burn off a bit, thankfully. We got some blue sky up here. So we're getting there. It's a tough one. Check in up at the top. Great view. Still climbing here. Ways to go. I told Jeff, here's a view. East face of Mount Rainier. And the clouds are burning off finally. We got to be close to the lookout tower. I think it's right over the hill here, I hope. Getting exhausted. This is a grueling one. What do you think so far?
So far, so good. Glad the clouds are burning off.
We made it. Swing around here so you can see Rainier. What time is it, Jeff?
9:15.
What?
9:15.
So 2 hours and 45? A little slower than when Gino and I did it
2 hours, 40 minutes.
years ago. God, it's cleared off. Beautiful morning. We'll start filming when I get up there. I'm just kind of giving you the lay of the land here. And we have come from way, way down there. This is a climb. Okay, time to finish up here. We'll check in at the tower. So we made it up to the lookout tower. And I'm going to take you up the stairs. And this is an old fire lookout built in the 1930s, and they used to station people up here in the summer. And they have this unobstructed view. This is looking east, spinning around to the south. And then Mount Rainier to the west. And then in the lookout tower itself, you can spend the night there. The old fire lookout sighting mechanism right there in the middle, and then there's a couple bunks and a couple camp stoves and lanterns, and we're on the catwalk, and then this is looking north toward Crystal Peak and Crystal Mountain. My good buddy Gino's up at Crystal Peak today. Hope he's having a good one. So there's 4 lookout towers in Mount Rainier. Jeff, you're on camera. Where does this one rank?
Toughest climb, toughest one to get to for sure. They all have great views.
Yeah.
Homie's probably still my favorite.
Yeah, there's 4 lookout towers. This is the last one Jeff had never been to, so I wanted to bring him up here. He's been to the other 3. This is by far the toughest hike up, in my opinion. And then the other 3, Gobbler's Knob, which is the longest. It's about 12 miles, and Tolmie Peak, and Mount Fremont. And the latter 2 are probably the easiest you could get to. But I'm going down the stairs here, so I want to watch my footing. But over this way, there's a backcountry camp. Like I said, we met 2 groups, and there's actually a backcountry camp down this way. And the 2 groups we met, they actually spent the night. One was in the lookout, and the other one was, they slept on the catwalk up there. So, boy, we timed it right, Jeff, with the fog clearing.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, boy, I ran out of gas here on the last stretch. I let Jeff go ahead of me, and then he hollered down that we were here. And beside being a steep climb, I think what makes this one difficult is you literally, last 30 yards before you see it. I mean, the other ones you kind of can gauge where you're at, but this one, you got to get all the way up here before you see it. So I definitely need a energy bar and some water, so we're going to take a break here. Hope you're enjoying the hike. So there's actually 2 campsites up here at Rainier Peak. They're a little bit south of the lookout. This is site 2. There's a vault toilet back here as well. I saw the bear pole over here, but I've never been, I've been up to Rainier before, but I've never been and looked at the camp, and I'm guessing the other one's down this way. We'll see. There's the bear pole. You're kind of on this broad, flat plateau where Rainier Peak is, and oh, this must be it here. Wow. Oh, it is. Hey, Jeff, where do you see this campsite? Holy smokes. You want to see a spectacular campsite, campsite 1. What a view. Holy moly. Check this out, folks. This is from campsite 1. You're on the edge of this precipice, and you are out in the open. You've got a nice view of Rainier here to wake up to or go to bed to. So yeah, there's 2 camps up here, and this would be my preferred site if I came up here. Quite a haul up here though. Boy, you'd have to, there's no water source, so you'd have to bring all your water with you. But really spectacular up here. I I think that's the first time I've used it today. I noticed last week I used that word about a dozen, 2 dozen times when we went up to Shriner, or excuse me, Grand Park. Go look at number 1 down that way.
How many are there? 2?
Just 2. And there's the lookout. We'll head back up there and finish our break. So Little Tahoma today is that triangular rock pointy thing right in front of Rainier. Kind of a different perspective on it today. But as you can see, the clouds have kind of cleared off here this morning. Boy, we hiked up mostly in the fog. And now we've got the blue skies and sunshine. And then I wanted to show you over here. I noticed we were sitting on the lookout tower. And let me see if I can zoom in on it. That swatch of rock there, that's Highway 410 heading up to Chinook Pass. We've seen cars going on it. Actually, you can see a couple cars now way off in the distance. But that is Chinook Pass, the highway. So I thought that was interesting. We're actually above it. So anyway, clear blue skies, and I haven't given my usual Steve bug report. We put on bug spray down below, and boy, it's been pretty sparse so far. I'm going to reapply it here before we go back down, but you can see the lookout tower. Let me get a better shot of it. Jeff's coming up the trail here. But yeah, the bugs have not been bad this morning. Keeping our fingers crossed. The few people we met, there it is. The few people we met, the 5 that we met that camped here last night said they weren't bad this morning. So we're going to finish our break, and then we'll start the long trek, and it is a long trek back to the car, and we'll check in on the way. I'm not sure how many folks we're going to see today. This is a tough hike, so we'll count, and we'll check in a couple times on the way down. Anyway, hope you enjoyed hiking up here with us. It's a steep hike, a relentless hike, but it pays off with these views. We'll check in on the way down. So I just wanted to point out one thing. Way down at the very bottom, that's where we're parked. This is about a 4,000 foot elevation gain, over 4 miles one way. So it's steep. Now we get to go back down. I told Jeff we'll probably cut an hour off our time here heading down. So like I said, we'll check in on the way, but it's a steep one. Oop. Stumbling and bumbling. I better put my camera away so I can watch my step. Check in a while. So just kind of the view on the way down. We were working hard coming up, so I wasn't filming much coming up today. Whoa. Quite an angle of descent here, so I'll just take a quick view. Different view on this side, huh, Jeff?
Yep. Still looks like a mountain.
Taking a short break in the shade here. It's real warm in the sun, but we're working our way down to the one viewpoint. Earlier today we were at, it was socked in, but we should have a view like this. But we've seen 3 hikers. They were heading up, so we're up to 3 so far. So we'll check in at the viewpoint in a few minutes. Jeff was commenting, we looked up to the right, and that's where we've come from already. We haven't been going that far, but it is a steep hike, and the lookout's on the other side of that ridge. But you can see we really descended in a hurry here. Oh, a couple hikers coming. I got to put my mask up. So we're back at this viewpoint that was socked in this morning. We're about halfway down, and we're taking a break. Jeff said his knees and feet hurt. He's getting old. And the old man, Steve, feels even worse, but
Steep descent.
very steep descent. But Mount Rainier, and we've seen after when I was filming last time, 2 hikers came up, so we've got a total of 5 here. So we've got this next section. I think is probably the easiest section from a steepness standpoint. but it's out in the open, so we're taking a break here, and then the last part is that steep section, but we should be in the forest, so we'll check in on the way down. Beautiful day. So it's a little before 11. We're in the final 1 mile stretch to the car. We're taking a break here in the shade. Descending rapidly, and we've only seen 7 hikers. Right at that viewpoint, a couple hikers came up, so we changed places with them, and now we've got the last mile to Highway 123 in the car, and hopefully mostly in the shade. This last stretch was in and out of the shade, so we'll check in one final time before we get to the car. So this is Steve checking in one final time. It's a little before 11:30, so we've been on the trail almost 5 hours. Almost back at the car. This last, the guidebooks say 3/4 of a mile, but it seems like it's a mile, and it's just never ending. So we haven't seen anybody since we saw the people up above that up at the lookout, so or the viewpoint. So I think we're going to end with 7 people today, but as you can see, it's gotten very sunny, very mild, warm in spots in the sun. We're glad we're in the shade here on this last stretch. One thing I wanted to say was little to no bugs today, which was a very pleasant surprise given the weather. So that was nice. Trail is steep, it's grueling, it's relentless, 8.5 miles. Like I said, about 4,000 feet elevation gain, so you definitely earn it when you get up there, and great viewpoint up there. But it's a workout getting up there, and it's hard on the knees and feet coming down. I think I got a blister forming here, so on one of my toes I can feel it. But anyway, I'll be back with Gino next week. Not sure where we're going, but we'll be out someplace, I'm sure. Maybe Sheep Lake and Sourdough Gap. We've been talking about doing that. So, from the Rainier Peak Trail from the last time, thanks for hiking with us. Hope you enjoyed it.